In the early 1990s, the BBC launched Select, a subscription television service broadcast overnight for viewers to record and watch later, or download if you want to use the proper term. To receive it, you needed one of these, a BBC Selector. Very few seem to have survived, but after a long search, I finally managed to track one down. There's a much bigger story behind Select, and I'll be telling that properly in an upcoming documentary with all of the gory bits. Today though, I just want to show you the box and see whether it still works, which I really hope it does. Let's go to the video bench. Please allow me to give you a very quick tour of this, and when you see how little there is going on here, you'll realise why I have called this video a useless kind of useless. Anyway, this isn't a VCS live video, no need to over-explain. That standby button doesn't even seem to do anything. There's your conditional access module there where you'd slot your smart card in. They are even rarer than the machines. There should be a little flippy flappy that goes on there. Obviously it's missing on this one, but beggars can't be choosers. It took years to track down one of these as it was. This is just a bit of stick-on costume jewellery. There's no display behind here. It's just a nice bit of polished plastic to make you think it's probably more exciting than it is. And then at the end here, which I'll demonstrate shortly, are three buttons which, again, don't really do anything. Because there's always some pervert who wants to see it from that angle. Aerial in and out there, SCART socket out, and infrared. You would have a infrared emitter on a cable that you could move round to the front to stick in front of your video recorder. That looks like that's on a 3/8 TRS connector. All very interesting, I'm sure. And finally, for those who really do like the all-internal, there's the underneath. Let's get it plugged into a television because that is far more interesting. Firstly, it doesn't decode this VideoCrypt, which many of us lads got very familiar with at precisely 10 minutes past midnight during the 90s. Naughty, naughty. This was a VideoCrypt used by Sky. It split each television line at a seemingly random point, sent them out arse backwards, and the box, if you'd subscribe, swapped the two bits back round the right way again, bloody quickly, and hey presto. You're watching 10 minutes past 12. And that's very naughty. But the BBC didn't use that version. It developed VideoCrypt S, which looked more like this. Instead of cutting each line in two, it shuffled whole lines into a different order. We'll talk another day about why the BBC wanted a different system. Right now, I just want to show you this box and what it does. But I have played a bit of a mean trick on you here. Both of these examples have been simulated. And I suppose you actually want to see this box actually decode something, don't you? All right, bet. The Selector was designed to sit quietly in the background, scan up to 4 preset channels and wait for a VideoCrypt S transmission. When it found one that matched the viewer's subscription, it would then use the stored infrared codes to trigger the user's VCR to start recording, effectively zapping it to you while you were asleep. The problem was the customer couldn't program any of this themselves. Those buttons on the front are largely useless without the proper setup card. Tuning, channel setup and the VCR codes all had to be loaded by a dealer using a special card inserted into the card slot. So if you moved house, changed transmitter or simply bought a different video recorder, there was a fair chance you'd need the dealer back to program the bloody thing. But fortunately for me, this one came from London, so I took a punt on BBC One off of Crystal Palace and got it right first time, which saved me an afternoon of dicking about. So using HackTV and a HackRF, I'm recreating a compatible analog television transmission on one of the frequencies this box is programmed to expect. All I have to do is feed the PC's output through the HackRF into the Selector and we'll finally find out whether this thing actually works. Okay, here we go. We're all set up. This is RF modulating through this aerial cable here into the box, out through the SCART socket into this monitor. All this box does is flick through its 4 channels all day looking for a VideoCrypt S signal, which does actually show something quite interesting, because if I start this, it says, at the moment I'm just sending it a normal clear television picture. 1990s, the BBC launched Select, but wait, service broadcast overnight for viewers to record. It gets bored and it wanders off again, and it will go round and round and round like that for ages. Let me just set it up now to work with VideoCrypt S scrambling on. It's locked straight onto it in the early 1990s. And that, my friends, television set is VideoCrypt S being descrambled by BBC Selector. I didn't say it was going to be anything interesting, but there you go. This box is doing exactly what we'd expect it to do. I think that's it for today. Let's wrap up. So, there we are. After more than 30 years, the BBC Selector still works. Admittedly, it needs a recreated signal and rather more modern equipment than the BBC ever intended, but the box itself is alive and doing exactly what it was built to do. And before I go, a massive thank you to all the lads and ladies behind the HackTV project who have done the real hard yards on this. They deserve the flowers. I'm just standing on the shoulder of giants here, so if that's the sort of thing that tickles your bits, head over there and show them some love. There's a much bigger and stranger story behind BBC Select, and I'll be coming back to that properly soon. For now, though, this particularly useless type of useless has finally proved useful in a completely useless sort of way. You get the idea. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Goodbye.